Hey, welcome back to day 15 now of Projects Me. It has been over 2 weeks of videos, so I said it yesterday, I'll say it again, well done to myself for that. I kept a promise to myself, I'm happy. As a reward, I'm going to take myself out to dinner sometime this weekend, or maybe for a coffee. Or just whenever I feel like it, I suppose, on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Take myself out, have a nice time, people watch for a bit, just have a good time. Bit of a reward. Today we're going to be real quick because I don't have anything really substantial to discuss from today. So we're going to get right into today, what I did today, and then move on to daily reflection with Ryan Holiday, and lastly gratitude, which I'm looking forward to today actually. And I guess you'll see why. So first of all, today woke up once again, did not go for a run. I just fell asleep again, and that was it. I genuinely don't know what the issue is. I think I'm done speculating, but there's clearly a mental block that I need to overcome, and there might also be an issue of just being overly tired and not getting enough sleep. But I don't know how to fix that because I go to bed at quite reasonable times, and yet I can't fall asleep for ages. So I'm not quite sure how to fix that. I've tried in the past taking supplements with magnesium. It worked briefly and then not so much after that. I genuinely don't know what it is. So I'm going to try a new strategy this weekend. I'm going to not use any alarms for a few days, so just try and find my natural schedule, and then slowly start waking up 20 minutes earlier and going to bed 20 minutes earlier every day until I get to my desired sleeping time and schedule. So anyways, we did that. Well, we failed to do that today, but that's okay. It's quite alright. After that, we just did some work on the computer before going into classes and tutorial for criminal law, and then international relations, which was about China, the lecture and the tutorial for that. And then after that I went to go see my professor and I spoke about the essay with him, and halfway through explaining the problem I realized, well, I'm here studying because I want a challenge. Why am I here asking? I wanted to ask him to raise the word count in not so many words ironically, and he was just explaining to me how to answer the question in the way that I'd already written out my answer. He just didn't know that I'd already written out, significantly more than the word count demanded. And I realized halfway through explaining that I didn't actually want the word count to be reduced because I wanted a challenge. So I went home and I spent the next, must have been 4 hours rewriting the essay, using all the same research and most of the same writing as well. Just repurposed, got rid of some of the imprecise language, and so I've cut it down by about 800, 900 words. So now we're down to about 2,600, which is good. The word limit is 2,500, and I still have to add references to that. So in all likelihood, it'd be well over 3,000 right now. So I still have quite a bit more to cut down, which is not so great. But where there's a will, there's a way. And it's just a matter of rereading it over and over and over again and deciding what I can afford to get rid of and what I can't, and finding the real key elements of the essay, which I suppose in the end is what makes the essay great or not. But I can't say I'm not disappointed because this is an essay that I would really enjoy spending more time on because it's a never-ending kind of question. China is a party state. How does that shape its foreign policy? You can answer that so many different ways, and there are so many different ways to approach answering it as well. And I don't know, I feel like I could write a fantastic piece of scholarly work had I just the time, for one, given, and also no limitations in terms of word count, for example. But anyways, let's move on. So I just spent most of the day doing that, made dinner, that was alright, and here I am. I don't think there's anything else, kind of a broader problem I want to talk about. Yeah, no, nothing comes to mind. So that said, let's get on to The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday, and let's see what he has to say. Today is, skip today, May 9th, 8th. Alright, here we go. Carpe diem. Love that phrase. Anyone? I know I've seen Dead Poets Society. Fantastic movie. It's based on a book, I think, actually, which I haven't read. But I really should, because I love the movie so much. But anyways, let's seize the day and get on with this. So this is a quote by Seneca in Moral Letters, and he writes, "Let us therefore set out wholeheartedly." Oh, sorry, my bad. "Let us therefore set out wholeheartedly, leaving aside our many distractions, and exert ourselves in this single purpose, before we realize too late the swift and unstoppable flight of time and are left behind. As each day arises, welcome it as the very best day of all, and make it your own possession. We must seize what flees." Carpe diem. Seize the day. There we go. Quite relevant. I think we'll get onto that in a minute and why I think it's relevant to what I spoke about earlier. All these quotes are relevant to just getting up in the morning, I swear. Spoiler. Anyways, Ryan Holiday has this to say. "You will only get one shot at today. You have only 24 hours with which to take it, and then it is gone and lost forever. Will you fully inhabit all of today? Will you call out, 'I've got this,' and do your very best to be your best? What will you manage to make of today before it slips from your fingers and becomes the past? When someone asks you what you did yesterday, do you really want the answer to be nothing?" No, very good point. And to relate it back to, waking up in the morning and getting over the mental block, of course you want to be able to say I was very productive, looking back, I wish I had. I want to have gotten up and gone for a run. Hell, I'd do it now if I wasn't, going to bed. If I wasn't, busy with schoolwork for the rest of the time, because frankly, waking up and then not doing anything, but not getting sleep either, is a very inefficient use of time. And it doesn't make me feel great at the end of the day. But, hey, it's a challenge to overcome, and that's part of the challenge, seizing the day. Seizing the day. Yeah. I just wish I woke up fully conscious so that I could think of that and be as motivated as I am when I am fully conscious to get up and go for a run, for example. But when you've just woken up, your mind's not working right, you're a little bit more primal. You're a little bit more interested in staying warm under the covers than you are of any other worldly concern. So it's quite frustrating looking back with consciousness at your unconscious state. But anyways, let's move on to gratitude. First of all, to the legend himself, Max, thank you. Thank you for saying that on the video yesterday. I appreciate that. It's not the goal. The goal isn't to get big. It's a bonus for sure. But the goal, I started this for my mental health and to talk about some of the problems I'm experiencing. And hey, if other people get some value out of what I'm saying and are interested in the ride, I welcome it. And I'm really happy to add value for them. And I really appreciate you saying that as well. I really appreciate that you do get something out of these videos. So thank you. I'm really grateful to you for that. So, day one OG. Second of all, I am grateful for Maria Sara Neri. She is someone I work with at my job. I work excuse me, I'm just going to restart that. I work as a coordinator for a non-profit organization focusing on the international direction of constitutional law, and so I focus on development specifically in the Asia Pacific. She is the coordinator for Italy and at the moment Europe in general, and she has a conference coming up and she's always been really supportive of me, so I'm trying to be really supportive of her and just grateful to have her and to have known her. she's just a wonderful person, and she's very active. She's a wonderful activist, just a great person in general. She makes me think that humanity is for good, She is a force for good. Thirdly, I am grateful for... Tricky. Sometimes it can be tricky. I want it to be natural. I don't want to just be arbitrary and come up with something, even though it means nothing to me today. Today I'm grateful for my gloves, actually. It's quite cold. My fingers would have frozen off me had it not been for those gloves. So thank you, gloves, for that. Seriously made my walk to campus so much easier to bear. Like, ridiculously easier. So a bit ridiculous for my third subject of gratitude, but it's just the way it is sometimes, Acknowledging the things you wouldn't normally acknowledge. So there we go. Hopefully today is just as good as today been, and see you all later. Cheers.